Hello. Hello, and welcome to the Daily Political Tarot readings here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you so much for being here. It is the 20th anniversary of the September 11th attacks. It's a very sad day, and energy's hard. But I've got your 12 questions. I take your 12 questions every day. Oh, my angel fell. I take your 12 questions every day. First come, first serve. I'm usually a little bit more peppy, but it's not a good day for peppy, because the energy is what you'd expect. But down in the description box right now, I've got your 12 questions, and I'll go and timestamp them so you can follow along. Also, after this, I go back into and I clean everything up. So if you're watching on replay, hello. Just go down and you can just click on whatever you're interested in and go straight to that. So there's that. Thank you, Velma's mom. I appreciate that. Thank you. Goodness, Madam Fancy Pants saying, I guess it's an interesting day for me to finally catch a live. I was in Manhattan on 9/11. It was my second day working for the city. There are... I'm glad you're here, Velma's mom. There are stories and harrowing stories that lots of people have to tell. We're gonna cover the 9/11 stuff up front. I've got 3 official questions, and 2 official questions, and then 1 on Trump. And then we've got a bunch of other things that we need to cover, because we go on from here. We go on. I wasn't going to talk about this, but up front I'm going to tell a very brief story because I'm feeling like I should. Let me double check. Is this a story I should tell? I'm getting it, yeah, but I'm feeling kind of a push to as well. I'll just tell it. I was in Phoenix, Arizona on 9/11, and I did not lose anyone on that day, so I certainly have nothing to complain about. However, I had gotten married the October before that. No, two years. Yeah, 2 years. I'd been married almost 2 years, and my husband at the time, was in flight school in Phoenix. He woke me up and said, "Are you awake? Are you like really awake? Because your country has been attacked." He was English. And it was, of course, devastating in all of this. And on a personal note, which is such a small thing on the grand scheme of the amount of devastation that day, the problem was that his final exam before he could start teaching and making money was scheduled for September 12th, 2001. September the 11th happened, aviation shut down, and then when it came back up a couple of weeks later, even though he was completely legal, and the UK have been our allies for a really long time, he was instantly classified as a foreign pilot, and nobody wanted to hire him. And that proceeded to be the next 5 years were just harrowing, bouncing around the country. I was very sick at the time, and trying to keep a roof over our heads, trying to keep ourselves fed. It was bad. So, but in the grand scheme of things, now that was my personal experience. It gets a little more interesting. I don't have a lot of direct knowledge, but some of the pilots on 9/11, some were trained in Florida and some were trained in Phoenix. And when they were talking about the FBI agent in Phoenix who had sent out a kind of warnings to his superior saying, I'm a little worried. That office was like, here's the flight school, and like, there's the office. I would have various of the other students who were training with my husband at the time over, because we were living on $100 a month for food for both of us. But I was gaining weight because I was having so many carbs. But I was cooking everything from scratch, and when these students, because it's really expensive to become a pilot, when they would come over and they'd be like, oh my gosh, you have fresh bread. It's like, yeah, I had to knead it. I had to get the white flour and I'd make candy from scratch because sugar was cheap, and all this stuff. So the other pilot, they loved to come over because I cooked. So of all the student pilots, at the time, I don't know that any of them specifically knew the attackers, but there was some weird stuff. And the only thing I can specifically talk to, and maybe the guy was just having a bad day, or maybe it was a cultural difference, because it had we dealt with people from all over the world. There were students, there was a person from Iceland who you could not put any spice on any seasoning at all on like the meat. You could season the vegetables, but you could not season the meat, because where he was from in Scandinavia, that was just, you don't do that. It's like, okay, and there are people from literally all over the world who came to my house and who, we had a car. I was only, because he didn't have his green card yet and whatnot. I could drive and he couldn't, so I'd pick him up from school and would give rides home to the various people. And one day, my husband got in the car and he said, "Hey, is it okay? We're going to give this person a ride home to his apartment." I was like, "Sure, get in," So he got in the back seat and we're driving, and I'm trying to make small talk, and he's just staring out the window, being angry and annoyed, and it was like, oh, okay, and I just thought it was very strange, because all the other people I dealt with, I mean, of course, everybody can have a bad day. That's fine. But everybody I dealt with, all of these people from all around the world and all different religions and all different, but this guy, and he was from, I'll just say, the Middle East. And he was staring at the window, and then we got to his apartment complex, and I was saying, have a great day, and he didn't say a word. He got out of the car and he slammed the door and he walked away. It's like, okay. And after 9/11 happened, you can believe the FBI descended on that flight school. It was asking everybody questions. And, there were some people who knew, who had met some of these guys or seen some of these guys. And to this day, I don't know who I had in my car. Because at the time, you're just like, he's rude. He's just really rude. But I don't know, and I'll never know. So anyway, that's my experience. It's mine to tell. Whatever else was going on, or whoever else anybody knew, or even whatever experience my ex-husband had, he doesn't like me talking about anything. So I don't care, but this is my experience, and this was what happened to me. And harrowing. So thank you, Janelle. So 9/11, I didn't lose anybody. And I'm grateful for that. And my heart breaks into a billion pieces for everyone who did. It had a in the world, in the economy, and certainly in aviation. And it's really expensive to become a pilot. And it left a lot of people, this whole group of pilots, people who wanted to be commercial pilots, this whole group of people who put themselves in immense debt for that education. It stranded them. And the years after, people scrambling just to survive, the number of people who gave up, the number of marriages it destroyed, families it broke up. And that's just one tiny little piece, the tiniest of little pieces in what happened that day, and what happened from then on. And I agree, maybe it's better I don't know. Mandy says, I was in flight school. Yes, very, very expensive. Yes. But anyway, but here we are. And if there's anything I do believe, well, there are two things I believe. One, those who we lost and those who we have lost since because of it, they are in a better place. They are. I believe that down to the bottom of my soul. And I believe that those who we lost want us to live, want us to thrive, want us to survive, want us to pull together as humanity. That was one of the great things about having someone who was in that flight school, was there were people from all over the world. There was this really great, funny guy from Trinidad. There was this really, really great guy, just all of these different places, and just wonderful people all coming together for this love of this ability for humans to fly. It's not my thing. I don't mind flying. I've done it. I've had a couple of lessons, just so I had some idea kind of what was going on. I was able to, in a really small plane, I was able to, so I've got an itch right there underneath my eye. I was flying a small plane and doing a circle, and I made it all the way around, and I hit a bump. There was a little bump at the end. I hit my own wake, and apparently that's a good thing. It's like, yes, okay, I've done that. So, but coming into land, it happened. Everything happened so fast, And when you're coming into to land, and also having been in the back of a plane on a hot day, landing on top of a mesa up in northern Arizona, and oh my gosh, I wasn't in control of the plane. I couldn't have done it. There you have to have special, like, you have to be of a certain ability before you're allowed to land on that mesa. But anyway, so that's what happened. But anyway, I do know they want us to live, and I do know they want us to thrive. And not that it matters, but I also want to say to anyone and everyone who knows me that someday, when my time comes, because it will, because that is the nature of humans, I want you to thrive. I want you to succeed and grow and add your wonderful energy to this world. That's what I really want. So, okay. So, hello, Lynette. Okay, so Michelle had a question from the other day that I saved for this morning. And Michelle's question will start here at 17. Start here. So, will we find any new information from the unsealing of the 9/11 files? So, I'm assuming. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Mandy. So, I guess there are some things that are still sealed. I'm guessing. Michelle is wonderful, and she often comes to the afternoon creative time sprints where 4:00 in the Chicago time every day we meet on the Book Art Media channel, which is the parent company of Black and Orange. It's my creative publishing thing. And we just do time. You bring your creative stuff, and we just focus on our creative work. It's a way to make sure we do creative work every day. You just, whatever it is, knitting, sewing, writing, graphics, whatever. Anyway, but Michelle often comes to that, and she's a sweetheart, and she's been on camera with us. So I'm taking her word for it. So will we find any new information from the unsealing of 9/11 files? Six of Swords, travel. Okay. Bless. Divine Spirit, bless everyone. Please just fill the world with your divine energy. Fill the world with the highest vibration, golden light of divine energy. Fill up the whole world until it is overflowing. Just brighten all of our souls with divine energy, including those who passed on 9/11. Just raise them up to the highest vibration so they know how loved they are, how connected they are to the divine. Raise up the souls, brighten the souls of everyone connected to everyone who was lost on that day, so that they know they are loved. They can feel the love of the divine and feel the love of the world. Bless all of us. Fill the world with golden divine energy so that we all know we are connected and we are all a part of the divine. Okay, world card. 3 of Wands, Queen of Wands, the Moon. Okay. I'm glad I didn't get the Tower card. I was afraid I would. If information is going to come out, it would be more lower level stuff about how it happened, like travel, how it was set up, or how people got into place or got around certain restrictions, or how companies' money was moved through, small companies' money was moved through. Yeah. So I'm seeing I'm seeing if there is it's there, but it's not overwhelming. It's not super. I'm getting upsetting, but this feels like it's a part of what happened. It doesn't. If it was this, I'd be worried. But it doesn't end in this pain and confusion. It ends in knowing more how maybe companies. There was a lot more. There was a lot more money coming into or being moved around through just regular kinds of companies in the U.S. local companies, and it was like, yeah, we give money to we just give money to support this community or this humanitarian effort back in blank in the Middle East. No big deal. Well, it turns out that they were actually helping get terrorists in the country, and they were helping terrorist groups, but it was such low level. I was going to sneeze. Okay, I'm not going to sneeze. That anyway, that's what I'm picking up on. So oh boy. Whew. Oh, is it Cartomancy? It's your birthday. Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday. I do hope you have a wonderful birthday. I hope there's cake, and I hope that there's I just hope it's a wonderful day. Thank you, C. Torino. Thank you. Sarah, I'm not sure what is happening. Perhaps some people can pray for you. But I'm just here doing political readings, and we're looking at things from 9/11. So I don't know. Yeah, we'll dial in sweets, and I'm gonna hand you over to the people in the chat who can help you, or at least pray for you. Okay. So, all right. 25. Love Jalou had a question. Were there bombs set up in the Twin Towers to help them go down, or did the planes do it all? Okay. Bombs set up in the buildings, or did the planes do it all? I have to be careful what I say here, just because it's there are people who are so directly involved. This is just that buildings became something that day. I'll just leave it at that. Ten of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, Five of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. No, there weren't bombs. There's been a lot of confusion, and there are also a lot of questions that haven't really been answered or answered well. And I'm just going to leave it at that. There's a lot that went into this building and getting it up, and getting this building up, and then the chaos and questions. How could this have happened? How can we make sure it doesn't happen again? Who's responsible? I mean, they're valid things to ask. It's just we have to be. I'm gonna leave it at that. I know. Trust me. Married to a pilot for 20 years. I was married to a pilot for 20 years. He was friends with pilots, and then I worked front desk in flight school, and then I worked the front desk at an FBO where the private aircraft comes in and out. I've been around aviation, and trust me when I tell you that they talk about it. There are aviation things that come up. JFK Jr. The other airplane tragedies, 9/11. They talk about it, and I know all the questions people have. So please don't think I'm just blowing it all off. I know I know people have questions, but to some extent, I'm not usually a person that just says we need to heal and move on. But after 20 years, there are some things that are so deeply buried in the fog of what happened that day. With the dust. That we may never know. So just hug the people you care about. So. Okay. 29:30. All right, let's come back to present day. 29:30. Let's look at our ex-president, Johan Fiora, today. Because we were coming back to the modern day, as in, what are we doing now? Now we're coming back to our lives now. And, thank you, Love to Lou, thank you.
I just want to say for the record, actually, I just switch it just to 30. Just want to say for the record, this is, there's going to be some questions on the pandemic here shortly. And I just wanted to say for the record that from now on, I totally understand there are people who cannot be vaccinated. That's totally valid medically. Like, look, I can't do it for this medical reason, that medical reason. I'm totally down with that. I'm talking about the people who can be vaccinated and are choosing not to. From this point on, that group of people, I will just be calling plague rats. Just so you know. So, king of the plague rats, not because he isn't vaccinated, but because he worked so hard to make sure other people weren't, and he got that whole conspiracy garbage rolling. Yeah. So the king of the plague rats today. Thank you, John. Today he and Sniffy Jr. are doing commentary on a boxing match. Yes, that's what we need from our leaders or leaders or ex-leaders on the 20th anniversary of 9/11. We need them going around. And he said that he wants to vox Joe Biden. Joe Biden cycles. Joe Biden takes care of himself. Who do you think has stamina in this situation? And who's the Scorpio? Personally, I think I know who would win that match were it to happen, and it wouldn't be Sniffy. Anyway. But that's not going to happen because this is called civilization. I so despise this person. Oh, I know what I wanted to share with you. Did you guys see the tweet, Junior's tweet about today's festivities? I saved the a picture of the tweet. Oh, here it is. I love this. Okay. The biggest fight of the year this Saturday. My dad, President Trump, and I are commentating, and we're going to have some fun. I'll finally pushing him on the burning question. Are aliens real, and what's up with Area 51? Shoot me some other questions here. Text alien to blah, 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 blah. There were a couple of responses. I think probably the best one was ask him about his taxes. So is this going to have any effect? I mean, because he couldn't get any lower in my esteem. Seriously, he just couldn't. I've got to move big ugly rocks and then scrape through the slime underneath them to get anywhere near my esteem for this man. Shut up. I don't like using that term very often. I try to say, hush your mouth or what have you, but seriously. the Sun, the Empress, Two of Swords, Three of Pentacles, King of Wands. It's part of the plan for the comeback to reconnect with his base. Try to reconnect with his base. Somebody else made a comment, which I also agree with, and is quite true. The one good thing is at least we don't have to watch him trying to pretend to care. You're a waste of oxygen. King of the Plague Rats. And how many people have literally passed on because of your incompetence and stupidity and narcissism? Several, how many hundreds of thousands of people can't be contacted for comment? Anyway. Oh, that's true, Gary. Even Joe Biden said, "Shut up, man." You have a point. I'd forgotten about that. Yeah, I like that. Thank you. I needed a laugh. Thank you, Gary. Holly says, I bet he wasn't invited to the 9/11 events today. Yeeks. Okay. 37 and a bit. 37. Let's just try 37. 30. Joan had a question. About the rally, the September 18th rally. And it was about masks. On will everyone not be wearing masks at the September 18th rally? The Plague Rats. March of the Plague Rats. That's what this rally is. September 18th, March of the Plague Rats. Super spreader event. And with a big dose of white supremacy. White supremacist Plague Rats. Six of Cups. Knight of Swords. Four of Wands. Temperance. Empress. Oh, they're so lying. They're so lying. They're going to go aggressively. No, how do I put this? They're going to push this idea that their aggression, it wasn't aggression at all. January 6th, do not believe what you saw. The media faked it all. It was Antifa or whatever. It was fake. We're peaceful. We are peaceful, armed Plague Rats. And we would never do such a thing. And this is America saying, thank heavens, so many of us are vaccinated against you Plague Rats. Unbelievable. All right. Actually, it is believable because we've been sitting through it for several years now. Okay, we're at 40 minutes. Steve Bannon. Greta wants to know, will Steve Bannon ever be indicted or go to jail? Well, let's see here. All right, 40. I don't know. He's one of the plague rats too, isn't he? Only he's one who already looks sick. Ugh. What's gonna happen to you, Steve Bannon? Where are you? I feel like I put on my Sunday best to go spend energy with. He's actually fairly tall, isn't he? If I remember correctly, relatively speaking. I mean, I'm only 5'4", but still. Well, fate has raised him up and will grind him under, and maybe it did, maybe it didn't. Thank you, Joanne. Appreciate it. And thank you for the hug. Thank you. Angie's dad says Steve Bannon is the living embodiment of the portrait of Dorian Gray. And yes, Greta, he's a menace, and yes, Joanne, he is gross. Yes, we are in total agreement. He's going to be isolated. This isn't. There's something about a message, but with this is an overall rise of people who would hold people like Bannon accountable. This is being hemmed in. It could be voluntarily standing still or a home confinement. And this is a star prisoner. Somebody who's isolated, but you keep them isolated because it's either COVID or it's they're too much of a target, which doesn't make sense because my understanding, because I have very little, but my understanding is that people in prison are actually generally pretty big Trump supporters. There's always a possibility that I see what's happening. There's always a possibility that people who are in prison have made poor choices somewhere along the way. They're Trump supporters. Make better choices. All right, 44. Polly Wanda wants to know, post-pandemic, will America build a national memorial to remember the virus victims? And where? I don't know if I can get where, but I'll have a look. National memorial. Okay, national memorial for pandemic victims. There is a memorial for the 1918 people who died in 1918, isn't there? A memorial for pandemic victims. Talk about devastating loss. I'm not saying that tragedies are a competition. They're not. But part of the thing about 9/11 was the shock, the spectacle, the awful, awful spectacle. But if you add up everyone who died on that day, and even people people who were brave enough to search for survivors, and all of those people who suffered so much, the actual death toll doesn't even come close to this pandemic. And look how much damage was done from 9/11. And King of the Plague Rats was up there telling people to inject bleach. That's the victory of the far right. Trump's victory. There might be something, but it's donations kind of brought together for something. Unfortunately, sorry, it's quite a day here. Unfortunately, it is individual. We won't need a memorial. There are cemeteries for that. And people putting up tombstones for their family members. 48. Rudy. How does Rudy feel today, not really being involved in the 20th anniversary? He's drunk. How does Rudy feel? Get out of the bottle, clean yourself up, and start acting like a decent human being. Then people will want to invite you places. Three of Wands. Seven of Cups, Emperor, delusions, insult and injury, worry. He's pathetic. He's those delusions. I'm important because, and it was upsetting, but he's got other worries, and he's trying to. He's first of all, he's not firing on all cylinders. He's just not. And he's a truly, truly pathetic character at this point. And he would, if Rudy was holding a flag at the memorial, he is so mired in all the gunk that has built up in his own life. The sins of the past have just like a hoarder of bad choices. They've just built up into where it's a level 5 hoard, and he can't even figure out how to squeeze through to make a path. The financial messes, the political messes, the health messes, his bad choices have come back to roost. But they didn't even come back. I mean, they just built up. So, Brenda's saying, where's Boo Boo? He's sleeping in the other room. I might have to go get him. All right, 52. White Dragon was wondering that other than, I guess, other than being the commentator during a boxing match today, the king of the plague rats seems to be somewhat hiding. How is his health now? How sick is he? Well, let's see. So, king of the plague rats. Yeah, climbing the stairs at the White House and standing there with the helicopter and ripping off his mask and gasping for air as he's standing there. Yeah, mwah, great look. I just said, I just saw Melissa saying, she said buildings that were built near the site were going to be haunted. I'm not sure who you're speaking of, but the people who've passed on, they don't even, the memorial is for people who are still here. The people who have passed on, they have the same message overall that most people who pass on have, which is life is short. Say what you want to say while you still can. Care for each other. Do some good. Tell people you love them. So anyway, Pamela. Oh, you really need? I really do need him. Oh, well then I'll read on. 45 can wait. I'll be right back. Oh, that was a big stretch. Just a good kitty. Oh, don't get the sweetness. Hello, good boy. Hello, sweetie. Oh, hello, boo boo. You're so good. You're so good. Yes, you are. You're so good. You are the Bailey Boo. Oh, big stretch. You are the Bailey Boo. Hello, dear heart. Oof. Hello, dear heart. How are you? He is a good boy. Oh, little scratch. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, another little scratch. Oh, are we done? I can let you down. Here, I'll help you so you don't fall. There you go. All right. A bit of boo-boo. A little sweetness. He's a good boy. Yes, he is. Okay. Such a sweetheart. Okay. Where are we? Okay. So. Oh, Cappy's mom, your phone alert's driving my dog crazy. It sounds like a Ring doorbell. She keeps running to the front door barking. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Angie's dad say, the indignity a kitty must suffer. Just ask me third eye, little fuzz bucket. Oh, okay. We're at 56:30. Here we are. Okay, 56:30. So that's right. Back to the king of the plague rats. So how's his health? We're so glad you're out of power. We are so glad you're out of power. You despicable waste of humanity. You selfish narcissist. 6 of Pentacles, Magician. 3 of Wands, Hanged Man. And Queen of same old, desperate for money, carnival barker, give me money, let me blow some dog whistles. What do you mean I'm not the president? Everybody around me must have fealty to the king. He is the king of wands. Everybody around must have fealty to me. Blah 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 blah. Michael Grant, did I ever read King Rat? I did. I was a teenager when I read King Rat. Lynette, King of the Plague Rats. Do we have a bunch of Emily Autumn Fancy or something? No, I don't know. I'm not familiar with that. I'm calling the people who are unvaccinated, who are willfully unvaccinated, not those who have medical reasons why they're not vaccinated, but those people choosing to remain unvaccinated. From now on, I'm just calling them plague rats. And Trump is the king of the plague rats because he got that whole ball rolling. So, all I wanted would like to know, will Trump's beauty secret ever be revealed? It's the bitterness. The bitterness got him. All right. 59. Let's have a look here. 50. Probably 59:30. Janelle had a question about the pipe bomber. Will the pipe bomber of January 6th be identified and arrested? Yes, please. I saw a oh, no, I didn't know that. Sorry. Oh, Deba, his secret is never blend. So this never blend. Mwah. I love you guys. Has to be third eye oil of decay. I love you guys. Oh my gosh. All right. I needed that. That was good. 101:30. Well, the pipe bomber of January 6th. I saw a picture of a screen capture of the pipe bomber, the person who dropped them off anyway. Yesterday, this morning, yesterday, very recently, and I looked at it. It was like, that's a woman. It just. It's not just one person, and I still think it's a couple, as in like a man and a woman couple. That's what I picked. Then and maybe one. No, not really. It's really one guy and Mr. and Mrs. Bomber. Knight of Cups. Will these unconscionable people, will they be caught? Well, Knight of Cups is an ongoing look for them. This involves political as well as more traditional law enforcement, knights protecting the realm. So are you going to be caught? Well, that's what they wanted. They didn't get it. That's what they wanted. Oh, they wanted chaos. They wanted shrapnel and chaos, and it was also a distraction from, it was meant to be a distraction from the January 6th insurrection. And then you get the front line, you get the Republicans who were complicit. The plan is, well, this was the plan, and it fell off and was silenced. Okay, but what about the bombers? People who planted those bombs. Angie's dad, duo bomber instead of unibomber. Actually, we know it actually refers to the universities, but it's funny. Duo bomber, I like that. So, Mr. and Mrs. Bomber, or whatever. Four of Cups. That's a refusal. So, no people around them not cooperating. Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords, Nine of Wands, Hermit. Where are they in hiding? Deep hiding. Three of Cups, Magician. They're under surveillance. It's planning to do something else that's going to get them caught. There are X many number of people trying to that they're watching very, very, very closely. And it's when these people just take just one toe in the direction of doing something like this again. Some celebration or some success by the left. And that's when law enforcement is just. Brenda says, I know it's a silly question, but who is Antifa? See, that's the thing. It's not a silly question. It's not. It stands for anti-fascists. So basically, if there's a neo-Nazi rally, they'll put their socks and shoes on and they'll get up and go protest against neo-Nazis. Other than that, they're just people that are just gonna stay home. It's like, so who's the leader of Antifa? There isn't one. Who's this great coordinator? It's a boogeyman. Anti-fascists isn't necessarily a bad thing in and of itself, but the right and Fox News just pounced on the idea, and it's the worst of the worst, and it's coordinated, and it's no, it's not. So anyway, oh, thank you, Chanel. All right, 106. We are at, oh, here we go. Let's ask about the January 6th Select Committee. Okay, so Tuxedo Cat was asking, can we expect sustained progression from the January 6th Commission now that their House is returning from vacation? Brenda, but aren't we all Antifa? If anybody's been around here for any length of time and you don't think I am strongly anti-fascist, you have not been paying attention. Holly Friend, so you're anti-Antifa if you're pro-fascist? Love you guys. January 6th Commission. Okay, I'm not immediately getting Liz Cheney energy. All right, so they're starting to work together as a team. Okay, good. Because every time I've been reading on them recently, it's just like Liz Cheney's energy is right there. I have questions. It's like, okay. Brenda C, I am not a fascist. I would think not. If you're here, I would guess so. January 6th, that was the goal, and the whole conspiracy and people behind it is going to fall. And thank you for not giving me that card until now. Thank you. We're not reading on 9/11 stuff, because I would have just lost it. Anyway, 9 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, Star, Justice. Oh, I like that. 4 of Swords. So they're going to take whatever arguments people are going to have about, you can't subpoena me, you can't question that, you can't. They are going to take the court and just, that is the end of that. Quiet as a legal decision, quiet as a tomb. Done and dusted. Don't even bring it up. It's very definitive. The energy is very definitive. We have evidence. These are the people who, it's like a map of the people in Congress who were involved. It's like, here, and then that could talk to that person who talked to this person, and Trump in the middle because this person talked to that. And so this is evidence and a map. Star witnesses putting stupid legal penny ante arguments to done, dusted. They are not fooling around. I am here for it. John says, I'm waiting for some contempt of Congress citations. I think that's a real possibility. The energy I'm getting, I know we've been disappointed in the past, but this really does feel like there's some people on that committee. They are dogged. They are not going to let anything be swept under the rug here. I don't care who you are. I don't care what little you think you did. It is the depth of corruption. It is our entire democracy's at risk. We are getting to the root of this, and we are going to dig it out. Yes. Go. Go, 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 go. Four of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles, Magician, Chariot. This is the sitting pretty. I don't have to answer your questions. How dare you question me? How dare you? You know, on and on and on. The reality is they don't have a leg to stand on. We have a plan. Let's do this. No, you're in trouble because of the plan, and very capable people have some serious questions. Prosecutors, committee members, you name it, and the full force of law enforcement is right there. And there are a lot of law enforcement people who are really not sympathetic to the co-conspirators on January 6th. We might think, oh yeah, but people held over from Trump and all. There are a lot of people in law enforcement in Washington, D.C. and FBI and what have you who have no patience. So I like it. Play traitorous games, win traitorous prizes. Win traitors prizes. Thank you, Polywanda. I'm sorry my nose is itchy. I had brought Boo Boo in and it's just the cat dander. It's the cat hair. But anyway. Okay. 1:12:30. This is interesting. Okay, 1:12:30. I will answer this question, then I will tell you something I have been researching right here that should help you. So hang on. So Anne had a question Anne had a question. What's coming up in November of 2022? Election stuff. I keep feeling something big is on its way. All right. Okay. So I'm going to ask the cards because I don't have that astrological information yet about what the biggest forces are going to be, but I'm hoping to get that later today. So tomorrow I should be able to talk more about the astrological things around election day next year, at least some of the just the big stuff. But November 2022. What is coming in November 2022? November 2022. A Page of Swords. A lot of young people voting. That's good. A lot of new voters. Tower, World, King of Cups, Ace of Swords, Three of Cups. Okay, I have been saying this for how long? 2021 is going to be the year of indictments overall. It's going to be, for the rest of this year, it's going to be indictments. Things are going to go to trial next year, leading up to November 6th. The January 6th committee is trying to get to the bottom of things, and they're going to have their report out and all of this. The old people are going to be held accountable. That is, all of that gunk is going to fall. There's going to be a new page, new chapter, new motion forward. Biden is president, brought the sword of truth, and happy Democrats. High-fiving. So between now and election day next year, in early November 2022. There's going to be a lot, and we'll be able to go forward with better energy. So I like it. I'll take it. Okay. Now, I want to give you guys some heads up so you have this information. So at 1:16, let me just 1:16. Astrological trends and warnings. All right. I wrote a whole bunch of stuff on this page, and then I put my coffee down on it, and I smeared a little bit. So you'll have to put up with a smear, I'm afraid. But all right, put this away. Or these will end up all over the place. So put these back in the little. Someone, I made this when I was in college. It's, I wouldn't do it now because it's made of real silk. But this little bag where I keep 2 decks of tarot cards. And I had this little piece of lace left over from something else I was making. So I put that on there too, on the one side. And it's lovely. And, and if you look at if you're looking through it or looking at the bottom, you can't see very well, but it's hand sewn and the whole thing. Well, I showed this 2 years ago, probably. And someone in the comments was very dismissive and said, "We don't care about your pencil case." Ever since then, I've been calling it my pencil case. And actually, it's like, yeah, I like my pencil case. Anyway, astrology. Take this out of my planner so I can show you. I've got this piece of paper. I printed this out this morning, and I was going, okay, this is 2021, 22, 23's here. This is 2024. All right. And I was looking at different astrological things, and I'll be clearing this up, cleaning it up, and hopefully putting it in some kind of thing where I can give it to you guys. Hello, dear heart. Are you coming back? So in the pink, we're going into a Mercury retrograde, what have you. Fine, whatever. A couple of things you need to know. You are here. Actually, you are here. Right? One of the reasons that today the emotionality is hitting very hard is Venus went into Scorpio yesterday. And, Scorpio is that fixed water sign, that deep emotion, depths of the ocean, 2 miles down, intensity. And so we're all in our feelings, and they're very intense feelings. So it makes sense. So there is something astrologically happening, which is making, not only is it a terrible situation, but there is astrology moving on. Thank you, guys. So then I've got various planets moving around. Now, a couple of things. One, keep in mind, I've talked to you guys, ad nauseum about Pluto changing signs. And that when Pluto changes signs, it tends to be a thing. Right. I don't. Pluto went into Leo, the sign of kings or monarchs or authoritarians, to plow up the worst that was there, to plow that field so that what was old and should be discarded could be uprooted and discarded. It went into Leo. Pluto went into Leo in 1939. Looked around and said, okay, who's the biggest authoritarian, awful? Oh, Adolf. Ding. In 1984, 3, 4, somewhere around there, Pluto went into Scorpio. Scorpio rules, let's just say, intimate parts of the body and intimate relations, among other things, but that's one of the things it's known for. Hi. And the AIDS virus was discovered, which was a total nightmare. Yes, it was. And many people died and suffered. Then were stigmatized. But by that being there, we were able to clean out a lot of the homophobia from our culture. We were able to improve our medical capabilities. That's Pluto all the way. Just go in, dig up the ugliest stuff, right? And then so we new, wonderful, better things can grow there. All right. 2008, Pluto went into Capricorn. Capricorn is all about status. England is traditionally Capricorn. They love their royal family and their aristocrats and wearing tweed and legmen and, you know, all this kind of stiff upper lip. That status focus, very classy, because it's all about class. So what speaks to class for most people more than what class you're in, more than whether you're a homeowner or not? Pluto went into Capricorn 2008. Boom, the housing market collapsed. Yes. Hi. The housing market collapsed. Yes, it did. That was terrible. So, Pluto is going to go into Aquarius. We are only a year and a half away from that. Matter of fact, I can't show you the paper because somebody's sitting on it. But in 2023, March, I can't see through his little feet. Hello, dear. I'll stand over here. I'll stand over here. There we go. It is happening. Yes. March 11th. No, June 11th. No. Oops. Don't show your rear end. March 23rd. March 23rd, Pluto's going to go into... You're done. You're done. All right. I'll show you. 2023, I know it's really hard to see, but March 2023, March 23rd, 23. Think of it that way, 23. Pluto's going to go into Aquarius. Aquarius rules things, it rules humanitarianism, it rules technology, science, it's the upper, think of it as the one octave up, the higher octave of Mercury, about communicating and technology, that sort of thing. So just be aware, it controls the internet. So we are a year and a half away from Pluto going into Aquarius. So, and the thing, I'm telling you guys a whole bunch of this stuff because I'm saying don't panic. I'm saying all we have to do is just be sensible. Don't over leverage yourself. Don't, just slow and steady wins the race. Have a little, scrape together just a little bit of savings, as much as you can, just a little bit. Don't upend your whole life, but just so that your whole life becomes more stable. That has to be kind of the focus to I've got a couple of racks in the basement, and I've got some extra non-perishables that I keep there, and some extra tissues and toilet paper and you know, not enough to, you know, I'm not a prepper. I'm not gonna survive, you know, zombies. But we just have to make things as so that you have options. I often use the quote by Flaubert, and I have to. It's first of all, it's translated, and then you have to understand the context. But the upshot is, for artists, be boring in your daily life. Actually, he said the word bourgeois. Boring. Be boring in your daily life so that you may be extraordinary in your art. Words to live by. And I think in general, be boring in your daily life so that you can enjoy your life. You can have an extraordinary life because you have this very calm, stable base as much as possible. So, all right. So I wanted to warn you guys about that. But as far as what's going to happen with, is stuff going to come out astrologically, there's some interesting stuff happening in October. From our perspective, from our perspective, planets sometimes look like they're going backwards in the sky. They're not. We're just going around the sun, and so from where they are over there, we're on this side of the sun, looks like they're forward, then we go this side, and it looks like they're going backwards. The upshot is the energy starts kind of backing up while things are retrograde. They appear to be moving backwards, and then it goes forward again, and that energy goes whoosh. It's like Mercury going retrograde. All that Mercury energy starts backing up. It's not flowing. And suddenly communications aren't working, and you can't get hold of people and all of this stuff. And then it goes direct, and it's like whoosh, we're going forward now. It's like, okay, good. There are a lot of things that are retrograde. And in October, I find it very interesting. This October, you have the normal things. Of course, the sun's going to change signs. It does every year at this time. October 23rd, it goes into Scorpio. Okay. Mars is going into Scorpio on the 30th. Okay, fine, whatever. But here's the thing. The outer planets, the ones that are like Saturn, Uranus, Jupiter, Pluto, what have you, they move so slowly that they tend to, those are the ones you look at for what's going to happen to us collectively in October. So next month, we have 4 planets going direct. Now, one of them is Mercury. Mercury is going into retrograde officially on the 27th of this month. So from the 27th until the 18th of next month, we might have some communication problems or internet problems. Just be aware. We'll get through it. But next month, we have got Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto all going direct. Pluto goes direct on the 6th. Saturn goes direct on the 10th. Jupiter goes direct on the 18th. So all that energy from Pluto, that digging underneath, that plowing the fields, that energy, Saturn, which organizes, controls time and order and forms things. Jupiter, bright, optimistic, can be a blowhard, promise more than they can deliver, but lucky and optimistic and expansive energy. All of that is going direct within 12 days. If we're going to get some things coming out, astrologically, boy, it looks like October, middle of October, right around then. And then I was looking around at what other things are here or there, what have you. And yeah, we've got a solar eclipse. Matter of fact, the only solar eclipse we're going to have for 2 years is happening on December 4th. That's actually why I'm planning on publishing stuff then. I want the chart for these projects I'm starting, like the first book in the series and all this. I want them to have this eclipse chart as their chart. And I was like, okay, so that's it for the rest of the year. Oh, nay. And we'll talk more about this. But Christmas Eve, we should be aware, Christmas Eve. Saturn, told you about forming things, order, structure, rules Capricorn, which is about the class and the civilization, and you get being a part of civilization and this kind of order. Uranus is the rebel. It's actually spinning. It's most planets, their axis is they're just spinning. The Earth is spinning. North Pole, South Pole, whatever. Uranus is actually spinning sideways as it's going around. It's doing its own thing. It's the rebel planet. It loves freedom. It loves. It needs freedom. It needs bolts out of the blue, original thinking, all this kind of stuff, right? So you've got Saturn. You've got rebel Uranus, okay? And then when you get aspects between two planets, meaning in the sky, how far away are they? How are they affecting each other? There's something called a square, and a square is it's kind of a grinding energy, and it can be good. I actually asked Marjorie Orr, the great astrologer Marjorie Orr, about this. She said that she sometimes sees squares as good as being like the grit that creates the pearl, or that inspires the pearl. But on the whole, it's a grinding energy. Okay. Saturn, color is black, very classy. Rebel Uranus are going to be square each other Christmas Eve. Those two energies are going to be grinding up against each other. So if you hear of anything political or something that is planned for Christmas Eve, please let me know, because I am curious how this is going to play out. I'm not saying this never happens, but it happens every so many years. It's not an unusual number of years, but it doesn't happen every year. So, or even every couple of years, I don't think. Because Saturn. Okay, I need to get off. But I just wanted to just letting you know about that, and we'll talk more about this in future. Because that day there's also going to be and I'm not going to go into details on this. There's an aspect lesser known called a quintile, and it has to be when you have two planets that are quintile each other. A square is 45 degrees apart. A quintile is 72, or you get biquintiles, which are 144. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They have to come up, or they do. They inspire creativity. They come up with creative ways to deal with each other. It's not necessarily bad, but at the same time that Saturn is squaring Uranus, Jupiter is going to be quintiling Uranus. So that big expansive energy is going to be trying to come up with creative things to work with the rebellious. Yeah, it's Christmas Eve, astrologically, is got me curious. So, all right. That's it for today. Thank you so much for putting up with me. Just blathering on. Thank you so much. And I will be back tomorrow, as always. I'm here 365 days of the year. It's 2:00 now. Shush. It's 2:00 now. And at 4:00, I'll be over on the Book Art Media channel. to do creative sprints. Bring your creative projects. The world needs your creative energy. Whatever creative thing you want to do. It can some, we've got one person who's creating coloring books. We have somebody else who's knitting. I do a lot of graphics. Sarah's there, and she's publishing romances. And I mean, it's just, so over at Book Art Media, you're always welcome. Carve some time out of your schedule for some creative work. All right, it's important. The world needs you. The world needs you. All right, take care, and I will see you later, or I'll see you right back here tomorrow.